Have you ever looked at a simple dime and thought, it's just 10 cents? Well, what if I told you that some of these tiny Roosevelt dimes are actually worth thousands, even millions of dollars today? Yes, the same dime you might spend, without thinking, could be hiding a fortune in your pocket right now. In today's video, we're going to uncover the most valuable Roosevelt dimes ever discovered. Rare coins that turned ordinary people into overnight millionaires. From hidden minting errors to limited editions that slipped through unnoticed. Every dime we talk about today has a story and a shocking price tag. So don't blink and don't skip, because the next coin could be the one sitting in your wallet right now, worth more than you can imagine. Now let's dive straight into the world of Roosevelt dimes. Coins that may look ordinary, but their hidden details can make them worth a fortune. These dimes were first introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the man who led America through the Great Depression and World War II. Over the decades, millions of these coins were minted, but only a few rare ones turned out to be truly special. And that's what we'll uncover today. Some of these rare dimes contain minting errors that collectors go crazy for, while others were struck in extremely small numbers, making them incredibly valuable. And guess what? Many of these rare treasures are still out there, sitting in old piggy banks, coin jars, and even your everyday change. So, keep your eyes open as we begin our list, because your next Roosevelt dime could be worth life-changing money. Now let's start with one of the most valuable Roosevelt dimes ever sold, a coin that shocked the world with its unbelievable auction price. Our first and most unbelievable Roosevelt dime on the list is the 1975 No S proof dime, a coin so rare that it's worth more than $1.8 million. Yes, you heard that right. A tiny 10-cent coin, smaller than your thumb, sold for a price that could buy you a luxury mansion or a supercar. But how did this small piece of metal become one of the most valuable coins in U.S. history? The story behind it is fascinating. Back in 1975, the San Francisco Mint was producing special proof sets, shiny, high-quality coins made especially for collectors. Every single one of these proof dimes had a small S mint mark right below the date, showing it came from the San Francisco Mint. However, due to a rare minting mistake that no one noticed at the time, a few of these dimes were struck without the S mint mark. That tiny missing letter turned out to be a multi-million-dollar error. For years, no one even knew these error coins existed, until a lucky collector opened a 1975 proof set and noticed something strange. There was no S mark under the date. That simple discovery made history and instantly created one of the rarest U.S. coins ever known. Only 2 examples of the 1975 No S proof dime are confirmed to exist in the entire world. Just 2. That's rarer than almost any diamond or gold bar you'll ever see. Because of this incredible rarity, when one of these dimes went up for auction, collectors went absolutely wild. The final bid? Over $1.8 million for a coin that originally cost just a few cents to make. Imagine this. You're looking through an old coin set, maybe something left behind by your parents or grandparents, and you suddenly spot a dime without that little saucier. That one tiny detail could turn your life upside down. So next time you come across a 1975 Roosevelt dime, take a closer look. If it's missing that mint mark, don't spend it. Guard it like treasure, because you might just be holding one of the most valuable dimes in history. Next on our list is another jaw-dropping treasure, the 1968 No S proof Roosevelt dime, a coin that turned a simple minting mistake into a collector's dream worth nearly $500,000. Let's rewind a bit to understand what makes this coin so special. In 1968, the U.S. Mint had just resumed making proof coins after a 3-year pause. These proof coins were struck with extra care at the San Francisco Mint, and every one of them was supposed to carry the small S mint mark below the date, proof that it came from San Francisco. But in a twist of fate, a few of these proof dimes left the mint without that tiny S mark. No one at the mint noticed, and those rare error coins slipped right into collector proof sets, completely unnoticed. Years later, when collectors began examining their proof sets, a sharp-eyed individual spotted something odd. A proof dime with no S mark at all. That discovery spread like wildfire across the coin community, and soon experts confirmed that this wasn't a fake or a damaged coin. It was a genuine mint error. Only a handful of these 1968 No S proof dimes are known to exist today, making them incredibly rare and highly desirable among serious collectors. Each one is a piece of minting history, a coin that represents a once-in-a-lifetime mistake that no machine or mint worker could ever repeat again. When one of these coins appeared at auction, collectors went into a bidding frenzy. The final hammer price? Around $450,000. That's right. A 10-cent coin that could buy you a brand new luxury sports car or even a house. What's fascinating is that this discovery opened the door for more no S-proof coins to be found in later years. But the 1968 version? That's the original legend, the one that started it all. So if you ever find a 1968 Roosevelt dime in a proof set without that small S mint mark under the date, congratulations. You might be holding one of the rarest and most valuable dimes in American history. Up next, we have another incredible rarity that proves even the tiniest minting error can lead to unbelievable fortune. The 1970 no S-proof Roosevelt dime. At first glance, this coin looks just like any other 1970 proof dime. Shiny, clean, and perfect in every detail. But here's the twist. This coin is missing the San Francisco S mint mark, and that one missing letter turned it into a $500,000 treasure. In 1970, all proof dimes were struck at the San Francisco Mint, and every single one of them was supposed to carry that small S below the date. However, a tiny batch of these proof dimes accidentally got struck, using dies that didn't have the mint mark at all. These few coins quietly slipped into official proof sets and went unnoticed until sharp-eyed collectors discovered the shocking error years later. Imagine opening a proof set that was sold for just a few dollars decades ago, and realizing the coin inside is now worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's exactly what happened with the 1970 no S-proof dime. Experts believe that only a very small number, possibly just a few dozen, of these dimes exist today. That makes them one of the rarest modern US coins ever produced. The story doesn't end there. When one of these dimes appeared at auction, collectors battled fiercely to own it. The bidding climbed higher and higher until it reached a jaw-dropping price of over $350,000. What makes this coin even more interesting is that it's part of a series of no S minting errors that occurred throughout the 1960s and 1970s. But each one is unique, and every time, the value keeps increasing as collectors realize how few survived. So, if you ever come across a 1970 proof dime that seems too plain, no S, no mark, and don't dismiss it, you might just be staring at a coin that could change your life forever. Now get ready for another shocking discovery. The 1983 no S-proof Roosevelt dime. A coin that once again proved how a small minting mistake can turn a simple 10 cents into $500,000. By 1983, the San Francisco Mint had been producing proof coins for decades with great precision. Every proof dime struck there proudly displayed the tiny S mint mark under the date, a mark collectors relied on to confirm its authenticity. But somehow, once again, a few proof dimes escaped the mint without that all-important S. This was no ordinary error. By the 1980s, minting technology was far more advanced, and such mistakes were almost impossible. That's why this coin shocked everyone. No one could believe that a modern proof coin could be missing its mint mark. Only one confirmed example of the 1983 no S-proof dime is known to exist, making it an ultra-rarity among all US coins. It's the kind of find that happens once in a lifetime, the kind of coin that can make headlines around the world. When this dime was discovered inside an original government-issued proof set, it instantly became the talk of the numismatic community. Collectors, historians, and coin experts were stunned. How could such an error slip past every layer of quality control in one of the most advanced mints in the world? This dime's combination of rarity, mystery, and flawless proof quality made it one of the most desirable coins ever created. When it hit the auction block, bidding wars erupted, and the final price soared to over $500,000. To this day, only that single known coin exists. And who knows, maybe another one is still out there, hidden in an old coin collection, waiting for someone to notice that missing mint mark. So, next time you come across a 1983 proof set, take a closer look. If your dime doesn't have that tiny S mark under the date, you might just be holding a $500,000 miracle. Now this next coin is something truly special, because unlike the proof coins we've talked about so far, this one actually circulated in everyday use. That means anyone could have found it in their pocket change. Introducing the 1982 No P Roosevelt dime, a simple-looking 10-cent coin that has shocked the coin world for decades. And some examples have sold for as high as $300,000. Here's what makes it so incredible. In 1982, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia struck millions of Roosevelt dimes. As always, each coin from that mint was supposed to carry the small letter P, the mint mark for Philadelphia, right above the date. But somehow, due to a minting mistake, a small number of these dimes were produced without any mint mark at all. That tiny missing letter completely changed everything. These no P dimes looked normal, felt normal, and were spent like any other 10-cent coin. But collectors soon realized what had happened. A major minting error had slipped into circulation. The first discovery came from a sharp-eyed collector in Ohio who noticed that his 1982 dime had no mint mark. Word spread fast, and suddenly people across America began checking their spare change and coin jars, hoping to strike gold, or in this case, silver-colored fortune. Experts estimate that only 10,000 to 15,000 of these error coins were ever released, and most have vanished through normal circulation. But those that survived in pristine, uncirculated condition are now incredibly valuable. Depending on the grade, some examples have fetched over $300,000 at auction. What makes this coin even more fascinating is that it was the first Roosevelt dime without a mint mark to be released into circulation by accident, a shocking event that stunned the U.S. mint and collectors alike. So imagine this. You're at a store, getting change back, and you spot a 1982 dime. Look closely. If there's no P above the date, don't spend it. You might be holding a coin that's worth more than your car, maybe even your house. This coin proves that treasure isn't always buried underground. Sometimes, it's right there in your pocket, waiting to be discovered. Now let's travel back to where it all began, to the early years of the Roosevelt dime series. The next treasure on our list is the 1949 Roosevelt dime with full bands, a beautiful and historic coin that has fetched tens of thousands of dollars at auction. This coin isn't an error, it's a masterpiece of perfection. The 1949 Roosevelt dime was one of the first few years of issue, after the series debuted in 1946, and back then, striking quality varied from mint to mint. Most coins came out with slightly weak designs or worn details, but a small number of dimes from 1949 were struck so sharply and precisely that the horizontal bands on the torch, right in the center of the coin, appear perfectly defined. These are known as full bands, or FB dimes. To coin collectors, those tiny details mean everything. A dime with sharp, crisp, fully separated bands shows that the coin was struck with fresh dies and strong pressure, meaning it's one of the best examples ever produced. Because of that, full-band 1949 dimes are extremely desirable, especially in pristine, uncirculated condition. Now, here's where it gets exciting. The 1949S, San Francisco, and 1949D, Denver, versions with full bands are among the toughest to find. Most examples from these mints came out with weak strikes. So when a coin shows complete perfect bands, collectors will pay an incredible premium for it. In fact, a 1949S Roosevelt dime graded MS-68 with full bands once sold for more than $25,000. And as time passes, these coins continue to grow in value, especially since so few have survived in mint condition. What makes the 1949 full bands dime so fascinating is that it's not just about rarity. It's about craftsmanship, precision, and beauty. It's a reminder of how even small details can make a massive difference in the world of coin collecting. So, next time you come across a shiny 1949 dime, grab a magnifying glass and look closely at the torch on the reverse side. If you see perfectly clear and separate horizontal lines, congratulations. You might just be holding a coin worth thousands of dollars. Next up on our list is another early gem from the Roosevelt dime series. The 1950s Roosevelt dime with full bands, a coin that proves perfection and rarity. Can turn a small piece of silver into a serious fortune. The year 1950 marked a special time in U.S. coinage. The San Francisco Mint was still producing dimes made of 90% silver, but striking quality was inconsistent. Many coins came out with slightly weak details, especially in the center of the design where the torch is. That's why finding a 1950s dime with sharp, bold, and fully separated torch bands, known as full bands, FB, is incredibly difficult. To most people, all dimes look the same, but for collectors, those crisp lines on the torch can mean the difference between a coin worth a few dollars and one worth tens of thousands. Because of the weak strikes in 1950, full band examples are extremely scarce, especially in high grades like MS-67 or MS-68 FB. These coins show razor-sharp detail, full luster, and perfect separation of the horizontal bands across the torch. A true mark of minting excellence. When one of these perfect specimens shows up at auction, collectors go absolutely wild. In fact, a 1950s Roosevelt dime graded MS-68 full bands sold for an astonishing $30,000 plus, making it one of the most valuable dimes from the early silver era. What's amazing is that many 1950s dimes still exist in average condition, but only a tiny fraction qualify as full bands, so it's entirely possible that one of these treasures is sitting quietly in someone's old coin collection, waiting to be rediscovered. The 1950 SFB dime represents the golden age of American silver coins, a time when craftsmanship mattered, and even the tiniest details could elevate a coin's value beyond imagination. So, if you have an old Roosevelt dime from 1950, especially one with an S mint mark, don't ignore it. Take a close look under a magnifying glass. Those clear, defined torch lines could make your coin worth more than a brand new car. And there you have it, the most valuable and rarest Roosevelt dimes ever discovered. It's amazing, isn't it? How a small 10-cent coin, something we use every day without thinking, can turn out to be worth thousands or even millions of dollars. From the legendary 1975 No S proof dime that sold for over $1.8 million, to the 1982 No P circulation error that changed coin collecting forever. Each of these coins tells a story of history, luck, and discovery. So before you spend your next dime, take a closer look. That little coin in your pocket, your wallet, or your old coin jar could be hiding a life-changing secret. If you enjoyed this video and love discovering rare coins that can make you rich, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because I'll be bringing you even more amazing coin stories that you don't want to miss. And remember, treasure isn't always buried underground. Sometimes it's right there in your hands. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, where another ordinary coin might just make you extraordinary.